Kaldheim Prerelease Pack Deck Build Challenge. Hey everyone, it's vmcampos Magic fan, Kaldheim fan. I've got a pre-release pack of the new Kaldheim set. They really should have put a subtitle onto it. I'm going to call it Kaldheim Blood and Snow. Anyway, I picked up this pre-release pack at a local game shop here. Shout out to Warp Rider Games here in San Diego. If you're in the area, check them out. Tell them vmcampos sent you. So I got a pre-release pack. I'm going to crack it open, show you all my pulls, and make a deck out of it that I'm going to challenge you. Find me on Arena as vmcampos #69225 and challenge me with your very own limited deck to win the Arena game code out of here. You will get the game code for yourself. I have not used it. You can win it if you challenge me. It's got to be a deck from a limited pool, however. So it can be from real-life cards, from a real-life pre-release pack just like this. It can be from a draft pool on Arena or a sealed pool on Arena. Anything like that is fine. But of course, it's got to be Kaldheim cards. Kaldheim only, because it's from a limited pool. Don't go cracking wild cards to build your standard ladder deck to challenge me here. No, it's got to be from a sealed pool, from real cards, or from an Arena draft or sealed deck. So find me as vmcampos #69225. Let's crack this open, see what deck you're up against, and good luck. So let's open up this Kaldheim pre-release pack, see what pulls I got, make a deck, and then you can challenge me online to win stuff. Alright, those are my pulls. I'm going to put together a deck. And we're back. So I put together a deck. I'm going to show you what the build is and what you're going to be up against if you challenge me. So I went with a red and black build. The build around card that I pulled was the Blood Sky Massacre, 3 mana, 1 black and 1 red. Chapter 1. Create a 2/3 red demon berserker with menace. Chapter 2, whenever a berserker attacks this turn, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. It's not a May, you get that happens. And then 3, add red for each berserker you control. Until end of turn, you don't lose mana as steps and phases end. So this saga pays you off with potentially a lot of red mana. It also makes you at least 1 creature and probably draws you a card. So I took this as, okay, let's see what sorts of cards in black and red we have with a focus on berserkers. So I did get a lot of Berserker action actually. Let's see here. For 1 black mana, Duskwielder Elf Berserker. It's a 1/2 with Boast for 1. When it attacks, you can pay 1. It deals a damage, you gain 1 life. Got a good amount of 2-drops. We got the Axguard Cavalry, Dwarf Berserker, 2 mana, 2/2. Tabatu gave a creature haste until end of turn. Some good aggro strategies there. Very cool art, riding that goat. The Immerstrom Raider, 2 mana, 2/1 Demon Berserker. When this enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, you draw a card. Death Knell Berserker, got 2 of these actually. 2 mana, 2/2 Elf Berserker. When it dies, if its power was 3 or greater, create a 2/2 Black Zombie Berserker creature token. So if you can pump this up, you get something in return if it dies. And there is a way to do it in this deck. So 2 of them. And then lastly, the pre-release card was the Skemfar Avenger, 2 mana for a 3/1 Elf Berserker. When another non-token Elf or Berserker you control dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So fits in the curve, does cool stuff, synergizes. At 3 mana, I got the Bloodline Pretender, 3 mana for a 2/2. It's a shapeshifter, it's changeling, it's every creature. As Bloodline Pretender enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Obviously, I will choose Eldrazi. Just kidding, Berserker. When another creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1 counter on this. So this can get bigger and bigger and bigger if I enter more Berserkers, and I will. Most of the deck is Berserkers. Grim Draugr, I got 2 of these. This is the 3 mana 3/2 Snow Zombie Berserker. You pay 1 and a snow. This gets a +1 and gains menace. So at the very least it's a 3/2. If I can snow it, it also gets stronger plus menace. 2 of them. Infernal Pet is not a Berserker, but it's an honorary pet. 3 mana for a 2/2 Imp. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1 counter on this and it gains flying. Now there's a few foretell cards, so I should be able to trigger the second spell clause pretty easily. And then the Comus Faithful, another honorary Berserker. I just needed more cards to fill the deck in. 3 mana for a 3/1 Elf Cleric. It's got lifelink. When it dies, each player mills 3 cards. I don't really have graveyard strategies going on, so that's going to be a little bit of a detriment. But we will see with an equipment that we might be able to avoid that death trigger. Next up, we've got the 4-drop 4/4 Snow Creature Zombie Cleric, the Draugr Necromancer. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead. And after that, you may cast spells from among cards in exile your opponent's own, with ice counters on them, and you may spend mana from snow sources as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So it's got to synergize with a little bit of the snow that I've got going on, but basically their things die, they get exiled. Even if I can't get them out of exile, things will get put into exile that they cannot bring back. Better yet, if I can bring them back on my side with snow, the Draugr Necromancer's doing its thing. And then we've got Jarl of the Forsaken, 4 mana Zombie Cleric, 3/2 with Flash. When this enters, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. So some great strategies here to flash in a blocker at 3/2, or to finish off their big creature that attacked and I had to chump block, and then the Jarl comes in and finishes it off. Oh, and it's got Foretell. So I can go put it in the exile zone and the opponent won't know what's coming, and this will also help trigger that Imp that I can cast a second spell in 1 turn perhaps. Next up, we've got the Karfell Kennelmaster, 5 mana 4/4 Zombie Berserker. When this enters, up to 2 target creatures each get +1 and gain indestructible until end of turn. So you can put your creatures with indestructible, make them a little bit stronger, and go in for the Alpha Strike. The Dread Rider, 6 mana, Spirit Knight 3/7 is the next card. 2 mana, tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard, and then the target opponent loses 3 life. As the game goes on and I've got stuff in the graveyard, I might be able to put the finishing Death Touch on the opponent if I can exile my stuff and deal 3 damage to them. And the last creature is the Cinderheart Giant, 7 mana for 7/6 Giant Berserker with Trample, and then when this dies, it deals 7 damage to a creature an opponent controls chosen at random. So some fun shenanigans and a big old beefy Giant Berserker. In removal, okay, I got in red the Crush the Weak, 3 mana, deals 2 damage to each creature. If a creature was dealt damage this way, exile it instead. It'll hurt your own stuff too, so be careful. And then you can foretell it, so put it away and then pay 1 red later on to deal that damage. A little bit more directly, Provoke the Trolls. 4 mana, deals 3 damage to any target, so including creature, planeswalker, or player. if a creature is dealt damage this way, it gets +5 until end of turn. So I could do this to my own big chonker over here and make it even stronger, but usually you'll be doing it as a lightning bolt and such. Alright, better yet, I got 2 copies of Feed the Swarm, 4 mana instant, exile target creature or planeswalker, the end. I got 2 equipments. One is the Tormentor's Helm, 1 red mana, equipped for 1. A creature gets +1, and whenever equipped creature becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to defending player. So we've got one of those to put in a little bit more damage going forward, and that also synergizes with this other Elf Berserker that if it got bigger and then dies, it can come back as a zombie. Or also to some other creatures to just make it stronger. And then better yet, the Raven's Wings, 2 mana, equipped for 2, a creature gets +1, has flying, and is a bird as well. So imagine putting it on one of these scary guys over here and make it a flyer. And also, like I said about this Koma's Faithful over here, maybe get a flying, deal even more damage, gain more lifelink, and then protect it from dying and milling. But reusable flying should be pretty useful. In the lands, they were a little bit light. Now, I did get the Shimmer Drift Veil, so it is a snow land. It'll help a couple of the snow strategies that I have here in very lightly in the deck, and then it'll help me do my mana fixing. Comes in tapped, so be aware of that, but it is a snow land. And then we've got the Sulphurous Mine, so it is a tap, swamp, mountain, but of snow, so that'll also help with the snow synergies. And then the rest is just the usual regular old lands. I have 7 mountains. Apparently I have a German mountain from 4th edition, I guess. Kamigawa, Theros, a few of those, M19, and then 8 of the swamps. And over here I've got a revised swamp, very faded, another revised swamp right there. Then we've got an Urza something or other right there. Time Spiral, and then Theros swamps rounding it out. So that was my deck build out of the 6 booster packs that I got out of this. I think it's a pretty good deck. It synergizes pretty well. You're in for a lot of trouble if you challenge me. Remember, vmcampos, #69225 for a chance to win this arena code that you can unlock on your own account. I have not used it yet. This is the real code. You've got to build this out of your own sealed pool. So remember, only the cards that you've pulled off of a sealed pool that then qualify you to win this. If you don't win first place, there'll be other prizes, don't worry. What did you think of my deck? Is it gonna beat you? Are you gonna beat me? Tell me all about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur to keep up to date with everything that I do on YouTube, or consider heading on over to my Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos, to be alerted to everything that I do regarding podcasts, magic, comic books, technology, all the cool stuff that I do. Simply pledging at $1, though, is a huge thing. Content creators like me are elated when we get the notification that someone has become a patron. Don't you want to become part of the VMC crew? Get access to exclusive stuff, but also show me that you enjoy my content. At the $2 tier, I'll actually mail you some vintage cards in appreciation, or simply follow for free. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This has been vmcampos, and I'll see you in Kaldheim.